Welcome to the meeting, everybody. My name is Zion Baldwin, Chair of the Education Youth Committee. We met last time, but I'll just quickly do introductions. I would like the board members to do introductions, and then we can come over to other people. Mr. Barber, do you want to start?
Daniel Barber, Chair of the Public and Supportive Housing Committee.
Richard Simpson, TA President for Patterson Houses, and Community Board one.
My name is Mohammed Sheikh, Chair of Immigration Committee, member of Executive Committee, CB1, Bronx, New York.
Claudia Rahman, Community Board Member, CB1.
Sandra Bowling, TA President for Melrose Houses.
Peninsula Jameson, Resident Association President for Melrose Houses, South Bronx Council President, first Vice Chair to Mr. Barber.
I'm Joyce Alves, Community Member.
And then we have introduce yourself, Jackie.
I'm Jacqueline De Jesus, part of the Youth and Young Adult Committee.
Anthony Jordan, District Manager, Community Board 1. Mr. Chairman, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm joined by my team members, Stephen Palmer, Community Coordinator, and Leonard, Community Associate.
Present.
Thank you, Chairman. Okay, no problem. I'll go to the third point on the agenda. Is there any new business that board members would like to discuss prior to moving forward? Okay, so if there's no new business. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, sure, yeah. So we'll start with Guns Down Life Up, and you guys can just introduce yourself or introduce members of the public as well. Sure.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jonathan Reyes. I'm the new program manager for Guns Down Life Up.
Good evening. My name is Emmanuel Pierre Lewis. I'm a vendor on the Guns Down Life Up for the outreach workers with the youth.
Jim Dobbins, Executive Director, Guns Down Life Up.
Good evening, Will Moore, outreach worker supervisor.
Good evening, Kenny Delgado, Hospital Respondent Director at Guns Down Life Up.
Hakeem Imadi, community activist. Tyrone Ball, community activist.
Jonita Bell, a parent of 2 children and attend Guns Down Life Up.
Thank you all for your introductions. There's no new business from board members. I'd like to move the agenda along to our presentation from the NYC Lincoln Hospital's Guns Down Life Up. This is a follow-up discussion towards the letter of support requested back in February 2025 at our last committee meeting. So the floor is yours. Sure. For the record, we'll just have our district manager recap what took place at the last meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you mentioned, this FYI, our meeting is being broadcast live on all our social media networks, including our YouTube channel. So this FYI. And while the committee made a recommendation to move forward with the Education, Youth, and Young Adult recommendation to move forward with recommendation from the full board for letter of support, the full board made a determination to table the item, give an opportunity for the residents, association presidents, and others to comment on the letter of request support. I specifically spoke to being able to do work in certain nature developments. We'll be having all the nature leaders and who were requested in the letter of support join us for a full and comprehensive conversation for the presentation. While we, on behalf of the committee, while we think that the presentation that was done before and with the young people being involved, we want to include this conversation since the request was to be able to expand the program into our New York City nature developments. As you know, Community Board 1 encompasses the largest portfolio of nature developments, and we understand the work of providers programs have to or working to do to try to make our nature developments and our community altogether safe. And so while this was specifically made to be able to do this work in a nature development, we want to make sure that we involve all of the stakeholders that to be able to have that have this board discussion. So I thank the chairman and I thank the presenters. I don't know if you want to have somebody flip through what's that, the computer flip that too, or we can, because I don't know, we can have a clicker in here. Everyone have a team member, we have, I don't know how you ever want to do it.
We can go up and down.
Yeah, if it's up to him, it's the presentation. Why are you presenting?
Okay. So I also want to say thank you for having us again. I appreciate y'all for the opportunity to present again. I'm gonna do it real quick. My name is James Dobbins. I'm the executive director here at Guntown Life Club. I also have a dual role. I'm the community initiative director for all the health and hospital systems. And this is our mission. You can look at this. This is our mission, our vision, our services, our leadership. Christina, Natasha. We have a new CEO. You all on the way. We have a new leadership here. They support our program 1,000%. We're part of the executive team, actually. Next slide. So well, Lincoln Hospital, we're the busiest single-site trauma center in New York, in the nation. You know, we're the busiest. We get the most volume, and people spoil. You know, we track all the gunshots, assaults, and stabbing care at Lincoln Hospital. Our objective is to make sure every patient is seen. Every patient that comes to our emergency room, along with Director Gilly Delgado, hospital responder, and our team, we make sure that we get in front of every patient. The intervention component, we stand by the bedside of every patient. Our community partners, SOS, actually RTG and BRAG. We have one common denominator, all the CMS groups, even Life Camp, all of them, they all somehow ends up in our emergency room to be the busiest single site trauma setting. We service everyone. So we like the one common denominator where everyone comes into our catchment area, and we work with all the CMS groups. RTG, BRAG, SOS. Unfortunately, everyone comes into our catchment area. So while we're at the bedside, 50% of the patients come back within 4 or 5 years. 20% of them don't make it, right? This is why this work is important, why we stay in front of the patients. Y'all know the model, the CMS model, but just in case y'all don't, it consists of 3 components: is violent interrupters, VIs, those who are experienced, who lived their life, some of them are prior gang members, living in the community, familiar with the pulse of the community. These are violent interrupters. Then we have our outreach workers, bring awareness to the resources. Then we have our hospital responders component, a very important component. Our intervention, we do family support groups. We pay for funerals, unfortunately, sometimes. We have victim crime services. Sometimes patients and clients need safety transfers. This is our intervention component. Some of the people we work with is Eve Hendricks, Pastor Henry. We have our student responses. Then the community know what we're doing. That's our intervention component. Our prevention, you can say right there. Our prevention, we swim upstream. We don't just wait for incidents to happen. This component was created by myself. It's not even a part of the CMS. We think outside the box how to service our participants. So we have our after-school program. We deal with young adults during the hours of 3 and 7, after school, giving the kids positive things to do during our idle time. Our last presentation for the record, you saw some of our participants in the audience and how they were highly engaged and participating and had some very interesting questions. So we do music, we do media, we do fashion, we do dance, we do a lot of fun things. We've been to over 400 schools, and we assess them. That's why we do these things. We also have a special youth ambassador program. Lincoln Hospital, Health and Hospital is really unique. If you think about it, every profession is housed here. We connect our participants with career paths. A lot of our participants actually working here at Lincoln Hospital. We have an all-year-round employment, the anti-gun employment program. We employ people from not only our catchment area, which I'll get in detail with. We employ people from Cortland, from Melrose. We employ people from all over New York City as a part of our anti-gun employment program. And they only allowed us 25 slots. Those of y'all who know the model, but at Guntown Life Club, we have about 70 slots because I created additional slots because I want to service the community more. And we go outside our deliverables, if I should say so. We also have Work, Learn, and Grow, all year round employment, as I mentioned. And it's just basically giving the kids positive things to do in this house here at Lincoln Hospital, in our conference rooms and our auditorium. And we have our own space that's located here in B75. That's our prevention component. Then lastly, we have our third component, which is community mobilization. You see all our youth in the community doing health fairs, doing tabling, doing resource fairs. We connected with all the health and hospitals and all the resources. Part of our job description is engaging these youth in a shadow outreach team. We have peer counselors. I'm glad to see Matt here and everyone here. We actually have some of our peers that work alongside with them and shadow the community, shadow the workers. We actually create stipends and incentives for these individuals in the community. That's part of our community mobilization and engaging them in what we do. What you see here is the track. It really started from 2017. Thank you, Ms. Bell. Ms. Bell was here. She's been one of our recruiters since 2017, like kids enrolled in our program. And all of our participants, well, 99% of them that was enrolled since 2017, they come back as alumni. You know, knock on wood, they haven't been involved in the law. They haven't been involved in the ER. These are some of our success stories. We do give referrals from the Department of Probation. We do give referrals from the 40th precinct. The 41st precinct, they refer youth to us. So that's also part of our prevention. We also just tabled today the Department of Probation. But we track all the gunshots and you see the same pattern here. And I'm just, to be honest and transparent, I'm just frustrated with seeing the same pattern. So what are we doing different? You know, in the march areas, when it gets warm, you know, the gunshots go up. If you go to the, this is gunshots, go to the stopping. So this is the assault, you see the similarities, right? Go to the stop wounds. The similarities. So it all goes up, especially during March, April, May, June, July, August, right? And I track every last patient. We get in front of every patient and do referrals. So in SOS, we do a history and I'll be sure. How much time do I have? Okay. So when I first came here, I came here as the liaison. My job was to dispatch SOS. I felt there wasn't a cookie cut formula because people get shot from Queens. They be out here, but they live in Queens, or people live in Brooklyn, or they come from different catchment areas. So Gilly and I, we changed the narrative. You know, we felt that it should be an act pitch, see the patient, talk to the patient first, see what they feel comfortable with. It shouldn't be a cookie cut formula, because sometimes RTG, brag participants come in, so we changed that narrative. In SOS, they do a great job, SOS, but I've seen patients, when I was here in 2017, I was seeing patients myself after the fact, and they would see 20 patients, 40 patients, but I would ask them, what's the follow-up? What are the outcomes? It's about integrity and accountability. So this is when I stepped in, and this is when I was able to get Gilly on board and get Maria Lopez on board. That way we could have an internal team. Our system is kind of unique because if we go RTG, BRAG, and SOS, we have the same components, community, but we also house the hospital responders component in-house right here. And we have pages, and we get the trauma sheet, and we have the resources internally within the hospital. So I wanted to make sure we service the community the correct way and proper way and have integrity and accountability. So we have our own internal hospital responders here where we dispatch SOS or RTG or BRAG, and we make sure we do a triage first to the patient, which is Gilly and his team, and we make sure we assess the patient and make sure they get the proper services that are required. Tap dance a little bit more. I've been doing this since 2017. Just 2 years ago, we was awarded. You know, a lot of people thought we'd been awarded when I came here. We were part of the chants, SOS, RTG, brag. You know, we were part of the parades, part of the rallies. You see our swag everywhere. You see us out here in the community. But guess what? We wasn't funded. You know, I was getting discretionary funds. I was able to get support finally because I demonstrated how we had Gilly, how we had Maria, how I took bits and pieces of discretionary funding, and I was able to hire a team. And I showed them that we're already doing the work, right? It just made sense. Thanks to the mayor office and Chief Howard, they awarded us to have the catchment areas that we had, and I demonstrated to them how we already was employed certain individuals, how we was already going to court for individuals, and how we already had service in the population. So when you saw us all those years before 2 years ago, when you saw us in the community with our tents, and we was out there at Cortland, or we was out there at Melrose, and we was out there doing giveaways in all these neighborhoods and night houses, and you have to chime in if I'm missing anything. We did not have any funding, right? And to be more transparent, when we did get the funding, there's a staffing requirement, right? So we have to have a program manager, an outreach worker, around an interrupter. So while we was in the process of waiting to onboard people, just for transparency, there was money that wasn't being used. It was an open line, right? I took that open line And I said, let me take that funding. That's why I was able to talk to Danny Barber, or I was able to, you see us in the community, I would say, doing outreach and doing tabling. This came from funding that I had to create. Even the youth ambassador program, they only gave us 25 slots. So I created an extra 40 slots, right? For we could work with workforce and work with the community and better service the area. So here, this slide right here just shows the prevention. How we would, Mitchell, we had the skills and drills. At Hostels College, we had our basketball. We do a whole bunch of array of things. I'm my studio, boxing. We just make it fun and attractive for these kids. And the t-shirts, as you know, we give out the t-shirts, our swag, make it cool and popular to promote peace. And this shows the prevention component more in detail. Right here, we have our surfboard safety meeting once a month. We convene once a month and talk to the stakeholders because we want to know. And we don't only have adults talking. Those of y'all who attended our surfboard safety meeting knows how our youth attend. It's not about the adults talking to adults. As we had this follow-up, the meeting before this meeting, how we have our youth involved and engaged and giving us input. So all these things that I'm talking about isn't something I'm just making up because James Dobbins want to do this. We have an assessment of the youth. We talk to the community. We talk to the parents. And it's very unique too. A lot of our kids in the after school, they all go to different schools. So I explained to the schools, some schools go downstairs and they stay in the same area. But we have over 40 different individuals that go to 40 different schools and they all create friends and they all just, it's a very innovative approach. The only program that's similar to ours is SUV at Jacoby Hospital. But we're the only hospital that has two components and just got funded 2 years ago. That's been around for since 2010. I've been around doing this work. Any questions? Oh, wait, next slide. Huh? Okay. You want to say a point? Ms. Bell?
I'm a mother of two adopted teenagers here, and I work here. And in 2017, I was so lucky because I needed somebody to take care of kids from 3 to 7, because I get off at 4. And I walked down the hall and I see this program called Guns Down. That was the best thing that ever happened to these two boys. There was 14 at that time. So they were one of the originals. This program had a business class. They showed them how to sew and make money, the whole business process, where they sold t-shirts in the department stores like Dr. J's, and if it was a JD's, they sold their t-shirt. They went to music studios to learn how to, in the music studio, where Cardi B goes as that, And what else they did? They did so many programs where they could be independent and grow to be financially stable. Well, at this moment, I don't want to take it that long, but they're now 20 years old, and the oldest one has his own business.
Sweet.
And the youngest one is just now entering college. They have never been involved in any kind of law or anything, because James will call them. They can call James at any time. If they adopt, I'm a woman, so they can call him. And he talks to them. They come to them if they're hungry, or if I'm not there, they come over here. It's somebody to look up to, somebody that look like them. You see, he's approachable. He's not in a suit, he's in sneakers, he looks like them. So this is one of the best parts of having a teenager have somebody approachable, not standoffish. So I'm so proud of this program. And I believe all the boys that started in 2017 had the similar experience.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And so again, it's not about me. I have Gilly, I have the team. Anybody want to chime in if I missed anything? But of course, I'm myself. But I know I couldn't do it alone. This is why I adopt or have the natives that's out here. Gilly Delgado, you know, you probably know him. One of the founders, they say the founder of SOS. Real.
I'll be the founder if I was first. Can't be no founder if I was first.
Okay. Well, excuse me. Okay, that's one of the original.
All right. I love you.
You wasn't the founder.
Well, I used the wrong word.
Wait, James, let me.
Because he says
Real,
that in the community,
I
and you're not the founder of our
Brother,
first.
brother, understand me. If you let me get my words out of my mouth, right? I was not the founder, right? They hired you first. But a good general need a good army. You hired an army. They put an army around you. They put me, Commando, and Kiki around you. That's all you had, bro. Right? Commando and Kiki come from Jackson and Jackson. I come from the whole Bronx. So you are the founder. Mr. You are the founder, bro. Listen.
Marys, my man.
I'm not, bro. Understand me, brother. I'm on your team, brother.
All right.
How can you?
Commando came from Marys.
All right, bro. Listen. If you want that time, you can have it, brother.
So
It's all yours. But at the end of the day, we here. It's not about.
Got you.
Let me conclude, brother. Can I just finish my sentence? It's not about us. It's about the children and the future in our community.
We have a moment.
You see what I'm saying? It's about.
Let's break this slide. To conclude.
No, bro. I'm gonna step out.
And I'm saying,
You know what? At the end of the day, I put in all this work. It's not about us. It's about what we service. We're here to service our community.
I used the wrong word.
No. Understand me, brother. Listen, understand me.
Just speak. We gotta continue, man.
I never got to speak though. He just said founder. We all founders. He could have said, yeah, we were all together. I never just denounced it, but I'm good. My work shows for itself. I'm outside. I'm not behind no desk. Right? I pull guns out of people's hands in the middle of the street before they kill somebody, and somebody's mom is like my baby. All right, but I'm good. Please help Guns Down Life Up. We help every community. I grew up with Danny. I grew up with Mac. I grew up with BMO. We from the whole Bronx. I'm not just from one sector. Because if you know about trees, they above ground. Underground, all trees are connected by the roots of New York City. I'm connected by the roots of New York City. All right. I shall dismiss myself. Have a great evening. Come on, bro. We out of here.
I feel my
Yo, Hakeem, me and you need to talk outside of this program, all right? But you ain't really built like that, God.
You ain't built like
So let's see, let's figure it out.
You ain't built like that, man. You ain't built like
Hey, excuse me. That's resolved already. That's nothing. That's nothing. We're gonna finish this meeting. We're here. Hold on, let me raise my hand. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Daniel Barber. I am the president of the Andrew Jackson Houses. I am the district chair for the South Bronx. That used to be 36 NYCHA developments, is now 19. Because the rest have went private. They sold them off. I'm also the citywide chair responsible for the 1.5 million residents public housing. We're here tonight because my colleagues had a meeting, and in all honesty, if the program is going to extend into public housing, then the public housing committee should have been invited along with the resident leaders where the program is going to work. What our problem is in NYCHA, everybody thinks for the residents of public housing. And we sat back for years and allowed people to think and talk for us. We stood on our own 2 feet in 2017 and we sued the federal government and we won. And we got a federal monitor. We govern NYCHA with a fine-tooth comb. We don't all get along. We don't all agree on everything. But at the end of the day, we got the same fight. If we don't do what we got to do, we all going to be homeless together. If we don't stand up to the administration, we all won't have nothing. And I've spread the same message to NYCHA employees. Because if it's no residents in Section 9, you don't have a job if it goes Section 8. So everybody's been thinking for us and pushing our envelope. So I felt strongly that we needed to redo a meeting and it needed to come, and the people where the program is being extended to.
It's about, can you finish this presentation? So we'll come right back to you in the
To conclude,
Go ahead.
Is to conclude, these are some of the stats that we have. But to conclude, we just want to better service the community. We want to expand. It's been working. We have data that shows. The community knows who we are. We're not strangers here. I see familiar faces here. I'm not a stranger to the community at all. You all know we attended everyone's events here at one time or another. Mata's not able to make it here because he's at the boxing gym. Real is here. If you don't see me, if you see number one draft pick, he's here, part of the team. He's doing that, supplies the support and the funding, the payroll for the youth. And everyone here knows who I am, and I have a team behind me. It's 18 of us. I just want to better serve the community and support. And this is our second year of funding, where people thought that we were getting the same amount of funding as others, but we're not as big as y'all think. We just want to expand the model. And based on our catchment areas, we had 600. We're having a march next week. We had 600 in 7 days, without shootings. One of our areas, we have documents, we have data that shows that since we've been involved for the last 2 years, that students have decreased. And this is what I'm looking to replicate. Because we have a model that's been working for the last 2 years. I want to take the same thing how I worked with Danny, how I worked with you, how I worked with you, how I worked with everybody in this community. I want to do the same thing and replicate. That's my ask here. And I appreciate y'all for giving me the time to talk. Thank you so much.
Mr. Chairman, if I may add, this is why we get into adding with the build on what Mr. Barber said, so we have a clear understanding why and thank you, Mr. Barber, for your leadership and inviting our night chair leaders to the conversation and for presenting. And I'm going to read the letter that the reason why we originally, when the presentation came up, we did not have the public housing committee, which fairly is the right of the chair of the committee, is because we got the letter of support after your presentation was made. For the record, I want to read into it so that there's a clear understanding why and building on what Mr. Barber said. I mean, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
Thank you. So it says to the funder, and it does not have any funding specifically, or I'm assuming this is to your Department of Youth and Community Development and City Councils, etc. I'm not sure where this letter will be addressed to. It's pretty open letter of support. Right. So it says that we are writing to express Community Planning Board number 1's, the Bronx, strong support and commitment to collaborating with New York City for the collaborating with New York City for the New York City Health and Hospitals, Lincoln Hospitals, Guns Down Life Up program to receive additional funding to enhance and expand program services throughout Community Board 1, specifically in the following New York City Housing Authority developments: Morrisania Air Rights, Jackson, Melrose, and Millbrook. As a community board, we are deeply committed to addressing the critical issues of youth and community violence in our district. Gun violence is a leading public health crisis facing our country and its youth. Thousands of lives continue to be lost to gun violence every year. New York City Health and Hospitals Corporation Lincoln is the busiest single-site emergency department in New York City, and the third busiest in the nation. Gun Down Life Up's mission has been and maintained to reduce violent injuries among young people ages 11 to 24, focusing on the South Bronx, with a vision to prevent and end gun violence in one of the nation's epicenters for gun violence. GDLU aligns perfectly with our community's focus to implementing evidence-based violence prevention strategies, addressing and underlying social economic conditions that contribute to the violence and reframing youth and community violence as a public health issue. Our community has been specifically impacted by youth and community violence, particularly firearm homicides, will disproportionately affect communities of color. Gun Down Life Up is seeking funding to provide and enhance Gun Down Life Up's 3-pronged approach: intervention, prevention, and community mobilization programming, which aids in preventing violence and recidivism of youth violence in the community. An additional goal is to enhance the violence interrupted program, which works in collaboration with various crime prevention city agencies such as New York City Housing Authority developments, New York City Department of Education, to expose the youth participants to alternative means of expressing their anger or frustration, and while learning positive career alternatives. For Gun Down Life Up to embark on this On this and the above mentioned, without additional funding, the program will be limited and the experience tremendously difficult in delivering service to youth in the community. The board, if passed, fully supports the Guns Down Life Up to ensure successful expansion and delivery of these services. Together, we will make a meaningful difference in the lives of the youth and community members. Thank you for your consideration and important initiative, and we need your help in supporting this advocacy to prevent the end of gun violence in the South Bronx. So, Chairman, that was the conclusive letter, and that was the request for the language letter of support. And so, while that request again specifically talks about in a catchment area, I don't know if James want to add to that. This is why the full board asked to table it to invite that conversation. And I just have one question, if I may. Where are you now earmarked to be providing your services? Is it specifically in one development, or is it in most of the
at the moment? So we still service, because as you know, last year, in July, there was Madison and Melrose and Jackson, they beat. So we can't just work one side without working the other. We've tried, we took some of our budget, but we undermanned, and that's the reality. So I don't care if there's 100 sites that come in here and want to support that. It needs everybody's hands. Like, we can't do it alone. So we asking for more funding to expand what we do, but we already are actually doing it. We work with one community at a time, right? But we can only do it at a minimum. And that's just a reality, right? We're not giving no funding for it, but it's needed. So we have to do it regardless. But how effective are we going to be?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
You're asking for more funding.
Mm-hmm.
You just highlighted Cortland.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody know my home is the epicenter.
Yes.
It's the epicenter.
Mm-hmm.
You guys used to work with Shy EK.
Mm-hmm.
And whatnot.
Yeah. We're limited. We're not.
I get it, but I get it. If you're given a letter of support,
mm-hmm.
we have components in the community. If you look at Cortland Avenue right now,
mm-hmm.
and they say you need to tell what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get off on telling what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But tonight I'm gonna tell what I do. 3 lawsuits, total up to $895,000 spent it in my community. Not on me, on them. Because I've been fighting with James in the city and everybody else. If you all know Cortland is the epicenter, why you don't invest?
That's what we trying to get funding for. We don't have.
But hold on. I've been begging before this started.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to the previous conversation that Gilly left the room.
Yeah.
I am one of the original people who started Cure Violence in New York City. I sat on the first hiring panel that hired Hakeem Imadi, Tarkeisha Brown, and I don't know Nelson's last name. Medina, aka Commando, formerly of 157th Street, Nelson Avenue, then by way of St. Mary's. We sat in these every month and did these hiring panels. This model was emulated off of Chicago, Vice Lord's Gangster Disciples. Marcus and everybody came out to do the training. Teams even went all the way out to Chicago for a week to do the training. The program was geared to cover the public housing areas and the surrounding community, the inner blocks. No Cure Violence team in New York City was walking the inner blocks. They would go, SOS would go over to John Adams and stop at the chicken store and then leave. My whole thing is what is this going to do? Because my kids can't even go near Millbrook. My kids can't even go near Patterson's. My kids can't even go. Only place my kids can go is Mitchell's, and not all of them. Only a handful or High Bridge. So, how do you see incorporating something with what we already got on Cortland? Because if you look, we haven't had since October. We haven't had nobody getting hit up since the Otter got killed. You did the shooting response. There hasn't been no because I'm taking all of them off the street.
So
And
you need more funding.
and I'm getting them jobs. I'm getting them sponsored into the unions. Just Monday I did 6. Today I did 4. That's 10 residents that I no longer have to worry about banging. And here go the catch. This is what Hakeem and I started doing. I'll get you a job if you give me the gun. I need Kevin O'Connor back. NYPD got to bring people back like that, who ran the gang unit, who came out of his bed when Hakeem called him at 2 in the morning, or he called Hakeem at 2 in the morning. Hop, you and Danny get over to Queens. I got a shooting. Hop, you and Danny get to the Lower East Side. I got 10 gift cards for you. I'm hearing it's about 40 guns out there. If you get me 10, you got me a lot. And we going to give him what he asked for. And there ain't no bulletproof vest, ain't no firearm. Just like Gilly said, while the gun is smoking, I'm taking it from you. I'm from the street.
So that's more support. Imagine if you doing it.
And I'm your biggest, listen, I'm James, no. My last thing, and I'm going to finish up with this. And then whatever questions, I do got some questions along with my colleagues. So James, no, I'm James' biggest billboard. Every picture I stood with Cuomo when he was the governor, I had on a Guns Down, Life Up hoodie and a black and orange first hat, Guns Down, Life Up. I wore the hat till the letters came off the hat. I wore the black and orange shirt till it's ripped. And the letters is all faded though. So I support the program. I respect the program. I big the program up. I tell Commissioner Howard all the time. I tell Mayor Adams' team all the time. I love the work that y'all do. But it's just when anybody now coming into public housing, I gotta stop. I gotta get defensive. Because it's we get told there's money's out here for public housing, but we don't see none of the monies and nobody bring the TA presidents to the table. But everybody wants to do for residents, but it's selective residents they doing for.
And before you respond, I would like to formally open it up to all members on the board team. You can provide your response within.
Yeah, I'll be real brief. I love that you said tangible. I love the word tangible, what we do. And you've been a proud supporter since the beginning. You have Life Camp on your arm and everything.
Yeah.
So I came here, I've been doing this work since 2011. You know, you were on Facebook, whatever. I'm holding the shirt up, Guns Down, Life Up, and everything. And I came here 2017, right? I had Shai Care, my participant, right? We hired people from Cortland, right? I got them construction jobs, El Sol, a couple of construction jobs with Danny Bobby when I sat with him. These sites, SOS, they do a great job, but all these sites exist. Only got funded 2 years ago. He just said these sites circumvent and go around. I targeted Danny Barber, thank you so much. He wore my hoodie. I targeted the team. We hired his team. We gave stipends to the high-risk people that he identified. His team identified us and said, these are the people that we want you to give the stipend or the funding to. I can say this for the record. And they did a great job. And we cut it off. It lasts 5 months. And I'm here today because I wish it lasts a year. I wish it lasts 2 years. It only lasts tangibly, because we're talking about tangible things we did. It only lasts 5 months that I was able to support or go do outreach because I didn't have the funding. I took other funding and made it happen. I'm glad you're here. Right? So you're talking about tangibly what we did.
It's called communication. Y'all gotta people gotta communicate.
So
But if you don't communicate,
So our communication is great, as he said, because he wore my hoodie. He's a walking billboard. They always supported what we do, but tangibly, we here to better service the community, and we put those funding we put our money where our mouth was, and we did the work. And we want to continue doing the work. This is the reason why we're here right now. To continue doing the work.
Yes. Please don't leave until I ask my questions. Please.
So I cut it short because I want to pick up the mic. I'm sorry I'm picking up the mic too long. I was just trying to give. Also, we still going to court for people in external catchment areas. Not just talking about court. We still go to court for participants in outside of Patterson and Mitchell, our funded areas. We went to court last week with people that's not in our catchment area. We don't get funded. We don't get money for our after-school programs for creating an extra 25 slots for stipends or for construction jobs. I'm here today because I want to continue doing what we're doing. Instead of doing 5 months with Danny Barber and the team, I want to do more. Because I think we showed good faith, not only with everyone as far as coming out, because we didn't have the funding to do it. I had to create it. I had to justify it. I can say this to the world. Because I had to explain and show accountability as to why I'm servicing outside our catchment area that we're funded. So if I'm giving a T-shirt outside our catchment area, I have to justify because our funding, they don't fund me to give him a hoodie.
I'll give them back.
No.
I'll give them back.
I'm saying I don't get funded for these things, but I go beyond the call of duty, I'm saying, because I know the service is needed. All right, sorry.
Okay, I'm here because I'm here with one of my fellow resident leaders, where y'all are in her development, right, which is Patterson. And a lot of times there's no communication between what y'all guys are doing in the street and her. She's the resident leader in that development. And a lot of times things get watered down when it comes to us as resident leaders. People come into the community saying that they're doing these services, but then we don't know what's going on in our own homes. You understand? And there's times where you might go to Patterson and y'all might decide to say, well, we having this encatchment, we're gonna have whatever barbecue, we're gonna have people come out or whatever. And 10 to 1, she don't even know what's going on. My second question is, I want to know, do y'all work with the MAP program, which is the mayor's encatchment thing? Because if y'all do, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be ugly. Because like for Millbrook, I really don't want the MAP program. I don't want them even touching the surface of my ground, because they have a problem working with the resident leaders. These services are supposed to be given to our residents, and we are supposed to be able to work together to make sure that the residents get the services. But what we find out as resident leaders, people come into our house and they want to discredit us and leave us sitting by ourselves and do their own thing. And then at the end of the day, when we ask questions, our residents are being told, don't listen to us because we the ones that are being paid to do X, Y, and Z. It cannot work like that. It cannot work where we have organization comes into our development and they don't even respect the resident leadership that is there. That, mind you, don't work for no money. We don't even get paid. So we working on all kinds of different situations when it comes to repairs. We like social workers and we everything. We maintenance mans, we everything in one umbrella. So my thing is, if y'all work with the MAP program, there's going to be a question mark when it comes to bringing Millbrook into the fold, because it's going to be problematic. And I'm not going to have nobody come and disrespect me for all the work that I do for free. Okay? So that's what I wanted to say. Pat, you can take it from there and ask your question. But I had to bring that to the table. Thank you, Mr. Barber, for waiting.
Okay, as far as James, now, this year, last year, 24, that's when we got really acquainted. or before I really didn't know. I've heard of Guns Down, Life Up, but I didn't really meet you or any of the guys. Now I see the guys, and I know the guys now that come into development. I see the guys, they're out there and all. And I went to one of your meetings. I like the meeting, and I like what you're doing with the kids. But my thing is this, is that I get more information from outsiders than I do from you. You know what I'm saying? As far as things that I should do, I should know, like Princess said. You know, I want to be able to sit at the table. Like I heard that Patterson, that you're getting a grant for Patterson, and I've been getting a grant from Patterson. If that is true, I think that's something that I should have known about as the TA president. Okay. And that I have a problem with.
Can I say something? Because, this is my first meeting joining. I'm a little bit confused because I understand you raising the community issue, and I still hear the same thing from you, but from my understanding of the program, the funding is given for violence. It's because they tell us who to focus on, which means the hotspot. I'm trying to understand, is this, you want to know for the whole structure, or this is for killing the right?
No, so,
Trying to get that.
well, to answer your question, we got awarded 2 years ago. All them years you heard about us, we had no funding. I had bits and pieces of funding, as I was saying. The health and hospital, I had to onboard a team. I believe you hired, I'm gonna do real, because he's the supervisor and everything, outreach supervisor, and Mata's not here right now. But within the 2 years, the year and a half or the year that you met me, well, not met me, but we got funded 2 years ago officially, right? We didn't have any funding. You heard of us, but we didn't have the official funding. I made it my job to sit with you, and we sat. You came in my office and we sat down. You explained the event that you wanted to do, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think we crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's and fulfilled what we had to do, and we wanted to continue doing. Like you said, a year ago, year and a half ago, but I made it my job to make sure, because we just got funded a year and a half ago. But all these other years, I was still catering to the Bronx. You could go into more in detail as far as we had to hire people from the community, or you want to go into detail? And then to add to MAP, we can get into the MAP question, because we're not MAP. We work with everyone, everybody. So if we came to the MAP situation, we had come there as ourselves. We don't have to come with MAP when they have a problem with them, but we work along with everyone. Okay, bro. You want to elaborate?
Well, wait, let me finish. I'm with her with Matt too, because I don't get along with Matt. No, I'm just saying, I don't get along with Matt and whatnot, and I know that you'll work with Matt, with James and them, but as long as, it doesn't mess with my residents and all. And then, like I said, I would like to see, I like what you're doing with the guys that you'll have from Patterson, right? But I would like to see what else you're going to do with those guys. I like to see those guys that you have working in Patterson. I'd like to see them doing something in Patterson also, walking with these guys, letting the other people, the young people in Patterson know what's going on.
Before we move forward, I do have to open it up to members of the public so that we can vote on this while we still have quorum, because folks do have to be pleased. So I'll take two questions from the members of the public, and then we have to take this to a voting item.
So 2012, I became the program manager for SOS. 3 full-timers, 3 part-timers. Our catchment area was Morehouse, Adams, and Marys. We had to walk from 148th Street St. Anne's to 156 St. Anne's, all the way over to 156 in Union, down Union, back on 48th and back. All them blocks in between, not just NYCHA residents, we was responsible for. We had a shooting on Union Avenue one night that we didn't know nobody there, because we didn't have a cameras there. Right? We did a shooting response, and the kids, as they was coming out of school at 3 o'clock, giving out flyers, because a lot of immigrants live on that side. Once they got in, they never came back out. My beef with my man is because he's going places telling me that he's the founder of SOS. I got a video that he got 500 days in a shooting. All right. Listen, and it wasn't like that. I still today, 12 years later, I'm retired. Still with the two families out of three whose children were killed, sons were killed. I go to funerals, I go to barbecues, I give out turkey giveaways, you got all those events. Again, don't get paid. All right? But the motto is just for the record, I was 16 or 24. That's why we used to beef with Jimbo. All right? I remember when he was in Harlem Hospital, he was the shirt guy. All right, we're correct. All right, he came up to the Bronx because I left in 2015 after they took out 25 kids from Morehouse. All right, that's when I left. I retired. All right, I've been doing this. I'm 73 years old. All right, I've been in the street all my life. 1965. All right, you talk about consciousness. All right, we got knowledge of ourselves. We didn't have beef like we have today because when you see a brother, you say hello, brother. You see a sister, you say hello, sister. All right. In the 70s and 80s, that's when they started changing our music, putting drugs in our neighborhoods. We don't manufacture guns, but they're here. All right. And that's real conversation. We don't manufacture them, but they're here. All right. And they're here for a reason. All right. We have a self-hatred that we shoot and kill each other, but we won't do it to nobody else outside that don't look like us. Why? Why? When that 14-year-old kid Travis got killed, nobody went down to hunt down the dude that killed him. All right? All right, real talk. But we got killers. Everybody kills, but we only kill each other. Why? That's where the problem comes in. Why? All right, everybody want to be the big cheese mo. All right? Listen, I'm a soldier. I've always been a soldier. I take orders. All right? But then again, when we're in the streets, I'm a street soldier. I'm from the streets. You know, I grew up right here, Patterson House. My two sons, one of them was correctional officer at Rikers Island today. All right? The other one, I don't know if you, the head of the Crips over there. My grandson with the YGs in 18 Park. All right? The kid that killed my son got 2 bodies out of Mount Haven. He's home right now. All right? I had to stop my grandson and my son from killing him. Right? Went to visit him in jail twice. Took one of the kids, Amon from Morehouse, with me to visit the guy, and he asked me, how do you forgive the guy that killed your son? How do you heal? Because killing him ain't gonna bring my son back. Because if that was the solution, we did that shit a long time ago, part of my friends. And everything is real. All right? I grew up an eye for an eye. We didn't care about the metal detectors because they didn't have them like that in those days. All right, in the courthouse, in the school. But if you did something to one of us, you got done. All right? Whether we came through the fire escape, through the window, you thought Batman. All right? They ain't had nothing on us. All right? And again, I'm from the city. All right? You know, I ain't got to run off how long my brother going away or how long. That don't mean nothing, man. You know, everything's real. All right? The gun violence situation is real. We got it. They're getting younger and younger. I'm in a barber shop in Jersey City where they're asking, how does a 14-year-old kill a cop and wound his partner and commit a 14-year-old in McDonald's? Where's the fun at? All right? What happened to the fun? All right? And I'm out of here. I live in Jersey.
Appreciate you, man.
All right? I'm out.
But what I hear is everybody has the same goals, right? But we have to work together. So if he's gonna talk about everybody's against me, we gotta work together. We can't be fighting, we try to fight to do the work, and there's some hurdles on why we can't. I think all of us need to do the work. We just wanna be in a fight, which, this is your community, right? So we just fighting to actually support the community, because whether we live there or not, it's all our people. So we just want to do more to help. That's really what we asking for. The letter of support is, I need 1,000 of y'all in there. And the community's gonna come out, we need more of the community to come out. But we do shooting responses in the community and they don't come out. Right? So it's not mind your business, let's bring this together. We want to support this community. We want to support every resident in the community, and we don't want to see another life lost. So that's what we asking for, the support. We shouldn't be fighting for support, somebody trying to help. I don't understand that.
Thank you, brother.
You dig it?
We'll take a motion to vote at this point in time. I'm sorry, but we do have to vote.
No,
We have to
yeah.
order. At this point in time, can I get a motion to vote for a letter of support for Guns Down Life Up?
What do I have to say? I motion.
I,
Joyce Pope's motion to vote.
Can I get a second on that motion?
Claudia Rahman, second motion.
All in favor, say aye. Oh, any discussion on the motion?
There hasn't been a whole bunch of discussion so far.
We don't need no more discussion.
And it's being recorded too, the entire discussion. Got it.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. At this point, we can do a roll call, right?
Yes.
Zion Baldwin, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Claudia Rahman, how do you vote?
Yes.
Patricia Simpson, how do you vote?
I vote yes with conditions.
What are these conditions? So I can worry about it.
What are your conditions, Ms. Simpson?
That, we collaborate more. We talk more, you let me know all that's going on, that's coming in. We work together with the community who, with our residents.
Oh, you on the board now.
Joyce, how do you vote?
I vote yes with the conditions of smaller committee meetings with the housing heads, leaders, regularly, like monthly. So not just at these board meetings or committee meetings, but outside, so that they could strengthen the relationships amongst the different houses and leaders, so everyone is on the same page.
Jacqueline, how do you vote?
Yes, with the same conditions, there be more communication and they work more with the tenants and residents and all.
Okay. Motion has passed. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you guys for your presentation.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much.
Just to let you know, you're wasting my night. I had to really pay somebody $100 to watch my dog.
Oh,
This
damn.
was supposed to have been a joint committee meeting, and I was excluded from the committee meeting.
Thank you so much.
So y'all will get my resignation in the morning.
No, we need that. You act like you let me go. Yo, listen. You gotta put every word.
We still have whole business, so can you take that outside?
Oh, look, they need to talk. No, they need to talk to you. We'll call you later. I'll wait for you outside.
Thank you, ladies, for extra stuff me, myself. She was I can't deal with Matt.
What's that?
Matt.
So we gotta go ahead.
Thanks, please.
Come on.
So I had to come to speak or that. So I-
Dig.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for inviting me.
Thank you for your support, please.
Y'all there, updates?
All right, so it's crunch time. Just update, the planning committee has been meeting, weekly, remotely, and we have decided to pick up another day in which we're meeting now on Thursdays and Sundays remotely to provide updates, in which we are just working to secure employers, organizations for our upcoming job fair. Our measure of success, so how will we know that this job fair was successful? We set a benchmark of having at least 20 employers, organizations present, and that's just a minimum. So obviously we want to attract even more, but as a planning committee, we felt that we will be satisfied if we have 20, considering this is our first time, and none of us have this experience. So we do have an Eventbrite that is live, and that is also included in our flyer, in which we're trying to monitor RSVPs. And our goal is to attract at least 300 people. But we are aware that we're still a little far out, so we do expect to see an increase in participation and responses closer to the event. We are awaiting some city agencies, but there are some city agencies that are confirmed to be present, such as NYPD, Department of Sanitation, and awaiting confirmation from FDNY as well as Civil Administration Services. We have some military recruits as well, some that we are awaiting Navy and Army, but Air Force is confirmed. And then we just have different organizations that provide all around services for families, young adults, and adults in general. So this is like a mix of folks in which we want to be able to address and be able to speak to different ages that of attendees that we hope to welcome. However, we need volunteers. We need help. We need people who are going to be on site at the fair to help direct, to help manage. And we haven't gotten that much responses from the board. So I am going to propose that someone from the job committee, yes, we got yours. We're going to need more though. If our aim is to have at least 300 people and our aim is to have, a minimum of 20 organizations, 5 of us holding it down, it's gonna be tough, right? So I'm hoping that someone from the committee will be able to speak to this during our board meeting on the 27th, as it be a week out into the actual day. And I'll also like to point out that we haven't received a lot of feedback from other board members either in regards to helping us connect with organizations. So the people that we are connecting with is like us connecting with them for real. Which is cool. It's not a complaint, but this is like a collective effort, and we really want it to feel like a collective effort to however we can. We're currently brainstorming how we can approach Pix 11 to help promote. Considering we don't have a home right now, I'm not sure what that can look like, but I think that could also help with our reach in terms of just trying to promote and it be free promotion. And then what else? Can the flyer be posted on the CD1 website?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
I said the website.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not. So I checked. But those are just.
We can reach out to OTI and just see if there could be so OTI basically is in charge of our website. Like I or the staff, Office of Technology and Innovation, basically the city's their tech agency.
Okay.
So they are in charge of our website. We just give them stuff to post for us. So I'm gonna ask
Maybe
them if
give Matt.
yeah.
And he would maybe also ask Vanessa Gibson's office, maybe post something.
Sure.
Just it's
we can pass that on,
temporarily,
yeah,
but
yeah.
we're just really just trying to expand our reach. We're gonna be doing some street trafficking, as it also gets near where we're asking different businesses if we can leave flyers, at their establishment. But if there's other suggestions on how we can also distribute flyers, please share. As a principal in the DOE, I've been sharing it with my principal friends and asking them to forward it to guidance counselors. As we also, the goal is to attract young adults. So I thought 16 plus with that angle. I thought of reaching out to parent coordinators to maybe also approach it for those parents within the neighborhood, within our district. I do not have a connect with charter schools. Jackie, you mind saying anything?
You have a link to listen to employers?
Yeah, we have a whole. Yes, we do. What is there?
Send it to me. I'm gonna send it
Oh,
to
they want that.
Okay. We have a whole template that you can do. All you got to do is change the organization, and yeah, we did the work.
I can reach out to some of the schools in the community. Also,
Should we email you the flyer?
I can reach out to some of the agencies that I deal with and foster care. And as a matter of fact, I have a young girl that I'm going to bring in. She's a 15-year-old entrepreneur.
Okay.
She has her own sneaker business. She's doing very well. So I'm going to bring her in so that she can speak to the board and, you guys and whatnot. And that'll be a help also And,
Pat.
hand wash.
Call me, I need to talk to you.
Okay, one hand washes the other, you know. I bring her here and she can bring other people in. And, there's other, I'm having a meeting at PSA 7, so I can reach out to some of the people there. I need a flyer. You don't have a
Yeah, so
flyer?
would you like
don't
a
have
hard copy or
flyer?
would you like a soft copy where I can
You
email it to
can
you?
give me some, do you have something, because I have a meeting with PSA 7 tomorrow evening.
You can have mine remaining. I have
We'll
about
reach
four.
out to
That's it.
some of the other TA presidents.
All right, well, thank you girls for the updates. Does anybody else have anything on it?
Can I make a comment, Chair? I just want to make a comment about, for folks to understand that this is a community board and we have parliamentary procedures. In order for us to be able to function in.
Are we closing? Wait. Are we closing the old business?
He just asked me to do, if I had a comment, I want to make a comment.
I thought related to the old business.
Are we getting into the old business? Or can I make other
Now we
comments?
talk switching topics.
I'm sorry, I don't know, Chair. What do you want me to do?
If no one else has anything to say on the job updates.
We should have also,
We
Mr.
can
the
move
job update
forward.
too, I wanted to say that I was able to secure HEC, so they should also be in the, on that Google list also.
Okay.
So they, and I don't know, I'm not sure, did we have a running list of each of the jobs?
We do, who have completed the form, and then also there's a separate list of those that haven't, but have given verbal confirmations.
Okay. Do you have anything to that, Mr. Driven?
That's, I just wanted to-
adjourn it and then you can make your announcement.
Yeah, we confirmed HHC, so there should be, health and hospitals that are doing multiple job fairs. And so we confirmed them, and we're confirming other businesses to be a part of that. So that's a great opportunity for people who are interested in going to the health field. So I wanted to make that announcement regarding to that. Let me know when I can go forward, Chair.
Yeah, so now I'll adjourn and then you can make your,
Thank you.
Can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I, Claudia Rahman, make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any discussion on the motion? All right, motion, you adjourn.
So let's go forward by parliamentary procedures, so that any of our issues are not,